Welcome back to Digital Rage. I am Jeff, the producer here at Buyer Company. Today, Mira Makati has written us an article about the post-click economy. A brand point of view is the new SEO, and everything about this is absolutely correct. We've seen it in AI overviews. You have to have your own opinion backed by your own proprietary data. So let's check it out.
If you work anywhere in the digital world, you felt it, right? That little bit of anxiety every time an algorithm changes,
right.
Or you look at Google and the search results just look completely different.
It's that feeling that the ground is shifting under your feet.
Exactly. For years, the playbook for getting visibility was, pretty rigid. But now it honestly feels like all the rules are gone. Today, we're tearing into some source material that argues the old way of winning isn't just broken. It's basically dead.
Yeah. And it's not just another update, it's a total reformation of the landscape. We're doing a deep dive into this massive shift away from technical search and into what the sources are calling the post-click economy.
Post-click economy.
And this isn't some far-off prediction. The analysis we're looking at, it firmly baits this new reality to December 2025. I mean, we are already in the middle of this new game.
Okay, so let's unpack that. Before we get to the new game, we have to define the old one. For the longest time, the whole point of SEO was simple.
Win the click.
Win the click, win the customer. That was it. That was the goal. And visibility was all about these tactical things. Your ranking, getting that rich snippet, chasing backlinks, structuring your data just right. It was a technical game to earn that one precious click.
But the prize isn't there anymore. That entire race is becoming irrelevant because the source material points to four really undeniable factors that have just dismantled that old traffic funnel. The click just isn't what it used to be.
And I think the first factor is the one everyone is feeling most, right now, the AI factor.
Absolutely. The first one is simple. AI summaries are pulling the core information right out of your content. They're taking the value without ever sending you the traffic.
So you do all the work.
You do all the work, and the AI just gives the user the answer right there on the search page. And the second factor just doubles down on that. It's the rise of the zero-click answer box.
The user's question is completely answered. They have no reason to click through to your site.
None at all. They're done.
And then there's the third shift, which you see all over social media, especially on the more professional platforms.
Yeah, the social platforms got smart. They figured out that they want to keep people on their site. So they actively reward ideas, standalone value, more than they reward a link that takes a user away.
So if your whole post is just a hook to get a click, the algorithm basically buries it.
It gets deprioritized, yeah. Which leaves us with the fourth factor. And I think for anyone in B2B marketing, this one is maybe the scariest.
The idea that buyers are now pre-deciding.
That's it. A potential customer in the business world, they're evaluating vendors for days, maybe even weeks, before they even consider visiting your website. They've seen your CEO's posts, they've heard your take on an industry podcast, they've checked your reputation on forums.
So the click isn't the first date anymore. It's more like the third or fourth.
It's not even a date. It's just signing the paperwork.
Wow. Okay, so if the click is dying, what's the replacement? If my goal isn't just to get someone to a landing page, what's the new way to win?
So this is the core thesis of everything we're looking at today. The brand's point of view, its POV, is the new, most powerful form of SEO.
And we're not talking about some fluffy mission statement.
No, not at all. Not a tagline. We're talking about a sharp, undeniable, and an unmistakable perspective that you carry through every single piece of content you put out. Your POV is your survival guide for this post-click economy.
Okay, let's look at that through the lens of AI, because this is where it gets really interesting. AI is supposed to be this amazing curator of information, but the sources say it's actually creating this crisis of invisibility.
Right, because AI has flattened information. It used to be that search engines would reward unique info. You'd spend months on the ultimate guide to something, and you'd rank because it was so deep and so unique.
Sure.
But now AI systems just compress all that uniqueness into a single blended sort of consensus answer.
Can you give me a real-world example of that flattening?
Of course. Think about, say, an article on best cybersecurity practices. If 90% of the articles out there all agree on the same 3 basic rules, the AI summary is just going to spit out those 3 rules.
And your unique take, your 4th or 5th point, just gets lost in the blend.
It's gone. The AI, it's looking for consensus, so it blurs your unique contribution into this bland, generic middle.
That's incredible. So the very thing that used to make you rank being correct and thorough now just guarantees you get blended into everything else.
Precisely. Generic content is now, and this is a direct quote, punished by invisibility. It's still out there, but no one ever sees it because it's not different enough to be pulled out of that synthesized answer. The only way to stand out now is to say something that no one else would say.
Okay, but how does an algorithm, a machine, measure something so philosophical?
Yeah.
When we say POV is a conceptual ranking signal, what does that actually look like on a technical level?
Well, it means the models are getting smarter. They're starting to favor content that has strong patterns, clear stances, and expertise that actually deviates from the norm. It's way beyond just keyword density now.
So it's not just matching words anymore.
No, it's the algorithm learning to associate specific phrases, unique ways of talking about a topic, or even contrary arguments with your brand, with your URL. Think of it like this. If facts are just common water, your POV is the unique food coloring that the system can trace all the way back to you.
That idea of tracing back, that's huge because it connects directly to how B2B buyers are now making decisions in that pre-decision phase you mentioned.
Yes, that impression is formed way before they land on your website. Maybe they saw your CEO post something provocative on LinkedIn that went against the grain.
Or they heard your unique perspective on a podcast about how generative AI should not be used in your industry.
Exactly. They got context. They learned about your brand's mind, its personality.
So when they finally do click, it's not to find out what you do. It's to confirm that you're the right company to do it based on the context they already have.
That is the single most important shift to understand. Clicks used to create context. You'd click, read, and then you'd understand the brand.
And now?
Now context creates clicks. Your POV is the context. It's what makes that eventual click feel inevitable. It's not a discovery event anymore. It's a validation event.
Which leads us to this really fundamental change in what we're even trying to do with optimization. In the old search era, the goal was simple. Discovery.
Right. Get people who don't know you to find you.
But now in this post-click economy, the goal is something else entirely. It's recognition.
Recognition. And we need to be really specific about what that means. You should be asking this of your own brand. Can someone recognize your brand's mind when they see your content out in the wild?
Can they finish your sentences?
Yes. Can they predict what you would say about a new industry trend? If a hot button issue comes up, do they already know what your stance is going to be?
That is a much higher bar than just, brand awareness. That's a predictive relationship with your audience.
It has to be. Because if AI is summarizing all the basic facts for free, the only value you have left to offer is your unique interpretation of those facts, your perspective.
And that level of recall, that recognition, you're saying that's the new #1 ranking.
It is the modern equivalent of ranking first. Because when that buyer is finally ready to look for a solution or asks an AI for a recommendation, they aren't searching for cybersecurity software. They're searching for your name because they already trust your mind.
This all sounds great, but let's be realistic. It sounds really hard to put into practice, especially for a big company. How do you translate a philosophical POV into something a machine can actually recognize consistently?
So this is where the source material brings in this idea of the algorithmic signature. A strong, consistent POV acts like a unique fingerprint of thought.
A fingerprint of thought. I like that. Let's unpack that. How do algorithms learn to read that fingerprint?
It's all about consistency and contradiction. The algorithm tracks the unique patterns in your language. Let's say everyone else is saying digital transformation is about cloud adoption. That's the consensus.
Right.
But your brand consistently, over and over, says digital transformation is about eliminating institutional fear. That different framing, that unique cluster of words, becomes a traceable signature. The machine learns that pattern, and even if an AI quotes you without a link, that specific idea is mentally tied back to you.
So all the technical SEO stuff, the code, the structured data, that's all just table stakes now.
It's the foundation, but it's not the differentiator anymore. SEO used to be a science, a technical checklist. Now, according to this, it's identity. The reward goes to the brand that actually knows what it stands for and isn't afraid to show it constantly.
So visibility is no longer about maximizing traffic. It's about maximizing attribution and recall.
You got it.
Okay, so if identity is the new game, we need the playbook. And the sources break it down into 5 specific traits the content needs to have to build this POV and, actually perform well today. I think we need to spend some time on these.
This is the practical part. This is how you avoid getting flattened by the AI.
Trait #1, And this one goes against like years of marketing advice. It disagrees with something.
This is the fastest way to create that signature. The thinking is that safe, consensus-based content just sinks without a trace. It's the contrarian stuff that rises. You have to take an explicit opinion.
So instead of just saying AI is a powerful tool.
Right, you need to say something like, the biggest risk of AI is that it automates mediocre thinking across our entire industry. If you just agree with everyone else, you're signaling you have nothing new to add.
That takes some courage, for sure. But it makes sense. Disagreement creates tension. Okay, trait number 2. It says something in the simplest possible way.
Clarity is king. Even as AI is rewriting the web with really complex language, humans still respond to sharp, clean communication. We have to cut the jargon.
Because complexity just makes it seem like you're hiding something.
Exactly. Or you don't fully understand your own point. You want language that feels effortless to read and remember.
I think we've all been there, trying to read some dense corporate white paper. Which brings us right to trait number 3. It reads like a person, not a department.
This is so important now. That careful, vetted corporate speak is now a skip signal. When your content sounds like it went through 3 lawyers and a marketing committee, it has no soul. And the sources argue that voice is an SEO signal because authenticity is what creates recognition. People follow a mind, not a flowchart.
The 4th trait links back to what you were saying about the fingerprint of thought. The idea that it is repeatable.
Yeah, a real POV can't be a one-off thing. It's not one hot take. It has to become a predictable pattern. If you're bold in January, but then you go back to being safe and generic in February, that algorithmic signature never gets a chance to form.
Because patterns are how memory is built, both for humans and for machines.
That's the key. It's the consistency of the contrary view that gets you noticed, not just the novelty of the first one.
And that leads to the 5th and final trait, which really ties it all together. It builds a world, not a paragraph.
Right. True thought leadership isn't just one amazing blog post. It has to be a whole ecosystem of beliefs. Your POV has to be in everything. Your social posts, your case studies, your CEO's interviews. It has to create this holistic, defined philosophy about your corner of the world that's actually bigger than just your product.
This really is a clear evolution. It's moving the job of getting visibility away from being a tactical checklist thing, fixing code, getting backlinks, to being a strategic, philosophical thing.
It's about defining who you are.
Yeah, and what you fundamentally believe.
So, if we synthesize everything we've talked about, your POV is the new metadata. It tells the search engines how to categorize your mind. Your POV is the new schema because it structures all your knowledge. And your POV is the new ranking factor because facts are free now.
So the technical parts of SEO are still necessary, but they're not enough. They're the floor, but your POV, that's the ceiling. The click is no longer the prize.
The mind share is the prize.
That's it. That deep recognition is what decides who wins in this post-click economy.
And brands that just keep fighting the old war over keywords, they're going to be left fighting over this shrinking percentage of people who even click anymore. But the brands that define their unmistakable perspective now, the ones who build that world of belief, they're going to own the next decade.
So the real question for you listening to this is pretty simple. How do you define your organization's unique, unmistakable perspective today? If an AI is going to summarize every accepted fact in your industry, what's the one provocative idea that only your brand would dare to say out loud? We'll leave you with that to chew on.
Reach out to us at jbuyer.com for comments and questions. Follow us at Buyer Company on social media. And if you'd be so kind, please rate and review us in your podcast app.